Okay guys, so to get started we need to cut the board to show exactly how we are going to make that connection between the two when we put them together. So you want to set your saw blade up a little bit higher, about halfway from the board, and then you want to start cutting it until you get a good portion of the edge cut off, the thickness of the wood that you're going to be using. Now we're just using regular wooden dowels that you can get at your Home Depot. Okay, so here's what we have here, the 1/2-inch dowels, and we are going to be making a weave thing that we can make carpet with. All right, and we went half the distance between the dowel and the saw blade, and we did that on both sides of 4 pieces. This is 10 inches by 8 inches. All right, so now what we've done is we have them where they're interlocking, and they'll get glued together. But in the meantime, we're going to be drilling holes. Now you can either measure your distance for your holes to go, or you can use like a piece of canvas and you can use that as your guide and then drill the holes, either every other one or every one, depending on how thick of the yarn that you're going to be using. And you're only going to put the holes on the top and the bottom, which is going to be the 8-inch, not the 10-inch. And then you'll be able to weave the carpet once we've done that. Okay, so now what I've done is, this is a test piece. I took a 1/4-inch dowel, just a small little one, and I taped it onto the dowels that we're using. Okay, and what I did is I took the canvas and I laid it up against here like this. And then I did every other hole. And I nailed them in. And I went to the top left corner of each one of these so that they're all exactly the same. Now, the nails are bending a little bit, so you'll have to straighten them up once you get them in there if it's not exact. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to nail them down all the way even with this board so they're all the same height.
Now I drill the hole. Alright, what I did is put one nail in here. Put one nail here to start out with and drill a hole, starting hole. I set the drill back where I want the spacing.
So if you're doing 1/4-inch spacing, you would set it back a 1/4 inch. If
right.
You're doing 1/2 inch, then you set it back a 1/2 inch.
Now, the hole that I drilled, that's where your nail goes through the first hole. When you drill, it'll automatically space. Now, the hole you just drilled, you put that one on the nail. And your nails will be spaced evenly all the way down. Go right on down the line to the board, just like that. And you continue on down the length of the board.
Okay, so if you don't want them going wonky, right next to your board, when you have it in here, and you want it to be straight, if I can get it back in the hole. There we go. You can put a nail right here.
Or another board alongside of it, yeah.
Yeah, or a board, or you can draw a line and just stay even with the line.
Yeah, and just put something there to guide it so you go even all the way up and down.
Yeah, that way you're not like this, and then your nail holes aren't.
It won't matter if the nails are up and down a little bit because they're spaced evenly, as long as you don't run off the edge. Now, we did one. It's got the nail holes already in it. Now, so everything will be even on both sides. We're going to go down through this one and into this one.
So they're taped together on the end.
Just go right on down the whole length of it. That's the first one. And just go right on down the line. Taped together so both sides will be parallel with one another. That your nails are not forward on one and backward on the other. So it comes out even on both sides.
Okay, so now you want to go ahead and set them together where they're interlocking on the corners. That's where we notched them out with the saw blade. Okay, and you should have all these holes everywhere. Now this one, it jumped on me, so don't worry about that. You only put the nail in the one. Then it won't matter.
Keep the holes parallel to one another so they're not one here and one there like that.
Right. And what this is going to allow you to do, it's going to allow you to make yourself a dollhouse rug. Okay, so now this part we're adding on a back so it makes it a little bit sturdier. And then, so the drill bit and the nails won't be so big because like the smallest drill bit we had was like so that the nail fit perfect. And they didn't have a smaller drill bit. So we're going to add that board on the back of it to make it sturdier. And then so that the nail will have something to go through. Now, you could always see how easy that is to get in and out of there. I mean, it just kind of goes in and out. So, by doing that, we'll put a little bit in that board.
The nail will have something to stick to.
Right. But you can always, if you don't want to go through the drilling process, you can always mark your holes and line them up like I said before, and then use thumbtacks with the push pin top, you know, the little plastic ones that have like the yellow and white top. Some of them are wood. If you buy the synthetic wood ones and you use those, they're easier to pull the top out, and then you'll just be left with the peg. Alright, so now we went ahead and drilled a hole in each of the corners. And we're going to put a little bit of glue underneath, and then we're going to nail them together with the board underneath of it so it sticks. Alright, so we have the board underneath of it. You want to line it up and make it even. And you want to put the nail right there in the corner.
I don't want to hold it. Just tap it. Just start it. Is this right? It didn't get turned around on me, did it?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Alright, so we're going to tap that the same way. Now you want to go ahead and bang them in the rest of the way once you have them all in there. And the purpose of not banging them all in at the beginning is because if you need to adjust it, you need to be able to pull those nails back out.
Right, now we're going to cut the other pieces to go on here.
Right. So now you want to take the next piece, measure it, and cut so that it fits in the space between this piece and that piece. Okay, so now that you have this piece, you want to just line a small bead of glue going straight along here. And you can also put a little bit up on the side there. All right, you can use some masking tape to hold it temporarily if you like until you get the other side set, and then we'll nail the nails, or you can just go ahead and nail the nails, and then you don't have to worry about using any masking tape.
Now you don't want to drive your nails in all the way. You only want to drive it in far enough so you can loop the string around it.
All right, repeat that process. Okay, so we're going to fill up the holes with the nails, and we have 2 pieces of wood together here, and we're using them as a guide so we can have all the nails even all the way down.
I got 2 pieces because I didn't have a piece thick enough, so I had to put 2 together.
And you just stop when you get to the wood. Now, if you want to leave yours where they come in and out, you can do that. So in case you want to skip one and make one wider for a thicker yarn or whatever, you can do that as well, and you just wouldn't bang them into the second piece of wood. However, it's going to be a pain in the neck if you're doing it and one of them fall out, because then you'll have to start your project over. All right, so we're going to go ahead and finish banging all these in, and then we'll be right back.
Hold it still. Swimming around on me here.
Okay, so this is what it should look like when you're finished with it, all the way around. Alright, so the only thing left to do is to sand it down so it doesn't have any sharp edges, and then get some yarn and start making your rug. That'll be in another tutorial. So I'm going to go ahead and sand this down, and like and subscribe, leave a question, suggestion, or comment below. And I will post another video with how to actually make the rug using this. And again, if you don't have the ability to do this, you can always use a thick picture frame and get some of those thumbtacks or push pins that you can pop the top off of it, and you can do it that way. All right, thanks a lot for watching. Have a wonderful day.